Today it's all about playing dirty. Let's go! With the Duelist Cup wrapped up, I can finally show you how I pilot Trickstars! So let's quickly go over the build. For our engine, we're running 6 playsets of our best starters. For our non-engine, we're running 9 hand traps and 3 staples. And with that, let's hop into the games. So Trickstars have several dirty ways to win, and here's a duel showing one of them. Because we're getting hit with Maxx C, and we have Droll and Lock in hand, we're going to try pulling off the infamous Trickstar hand rip. In order for us to do this, we'll need our copy of Trickstar Reincarnation. And it's a good thing we have a way to search for it. Now, we just need to wait for our opponent to search for a card. And it's a good thing most players start their combos off with a search. Now it's time. It's important to first activate Trickstar Reincarnation, and then follow it up with Droll and Lock or else this won't work. Our opponent tries to save their cards, but it won't matter much. Go Trickstar Reincarnation! Because of Droll, Reincarnation's effect to replenish our opponent's hand fizzles, so they're left with nothing in their hand. Now this is just the beginning. Alright, so you may wonder, what happens if we don't open with Droll and Lock? Well, in that case, we'll just have to search for it. Because our build runs a playset of Small World, we can actually search for Droll by using Fuwalos as a bridge. And there's the Droll we need for the hand rip. But why stop there? With Trickstar Hoody in hand, we can go into our other Trickstars. Because of how fragile the Trickstar hand rip is to Ash Blossom or Call by the Grave, it's always a good thing to still have a backup. But our opponent has something for us. Retaliating C. Alright, so Banishment Floodgates actually hit Trickstars pretty hard. Also, they shut down Droll. So, we're actually going to do something unusual. We're going to have Trickstar ban Drumatis grab a second Reincarnation. That's right, if you didn't know, Reincarnation isn't once per turn. Alright, so our opponent is trying to crash the Retaliating C. This is a good thing for us since it'll get rid of the Floodgate, but our opponent obviously has evenly matched in their hand. Go Trickstar Reincarnation! And because the first Reincarnation made our opponent add cards to their hand, we can now do the hand rip play. If you thought that was dirty, wait till you see what else we can do next. Alright, enough of the hand rips. Let me show you some of the other dirty Trickstar plays. If you didn't know, Trickstar is notoriously known for their burn damage. And what you'll get to see is what happens when our opponent isn't careful about their hand traps. Luckily for us, we survive a turn against Maliss, but we definitely need to beat them now before they really snowball. And here's where the fun begins. Maxx C. Now normally, Maxx C is dreadful to fight against, but we're playing Trickstars and we're gonna play dirty. With their Maxx C in play, we're gonna use it against them. So what we need to do now is grab 2 key cards, Angel of Blue Tears and Trickstar Lycoris. So let's bring her out. Go Trickstar Noble Angel! And she'll help us grab us our Angel of Blue Tears. But you may wonder, can we really bring our opponent's life points down to 0 this turn while being under Maxx C? You'll be surprised what Trickstar can do. Alright, so our opponent is now down to 4,300 life points. This is where we begin to burn them down. Go Trickstar ban Drumatis! And she'll help us grab us Trickstar Lycoris. And in case you're wondering why these 2 cards are so important, here's why. Blue Tears will let us burn our opponent for each card in their hand, while Lycoris will let us burn our opponent whenever they draw a card. And here comes the burn damage. With Lycoris out, it's time to make our opponent draw as much as possible. But we're not done yet. Go Trickstar Bella Madonna! Here's some more burn damage. And let's finish this. Go Angel of Blue Tears! If you thought that this was a dirty way to win, wait till you see what we can do next. So if you made it this far, then you probably noticed that Trickstar isn't about dominating our opponent. Instead, Trickstar is all about winning dirty. And this time, you'll get to see how our Trickstars can win even through battle. Also as a bonus, you'll get to see how we play around some interruptions going second. The plan here is that we want to save our normal summon for Trickstar Candina, which we can easily grab with our light stage in hand. So we just gotta bait out as many interruptions before we do so. Although Trickstar Band Drumatis gets destroyed, it's a good thing that she's in our grave so we can use Noble Angel's effect later. Now we can finally bring her out! Go Trickstar Candina! Okay, so now's where we're gonna prepare for our dirty play. So here's the trick. We just need to quickly dump our Trickstar Colchica in our grave, and continue our combo so it seems like nothing even happened. But you'll see later why she's so important. Also, to distract our opponent, we're gonna keep bringing out more Trickstars. It's almost like Colchica never existed. And with Foxglove Witch doing some even more burn damage, and Noble Angel doing a pop, we should be good. At this point, we've done so much that hopefully our opponent has forgotten that we placed a bomb in our graveyard. This is the Trickstar way. And now let's see if our opponent has paid attention. With no more interruptions left, we're giving our opponent a false sense of security. They're currently sitting on 4,500 life points, but you'll see that changes very soon. Here it comes! With Foxglove Witch destroyed, here's where everything comes together. Not only will she do some burn damage, but so will Colchica from our graveyard. So from one attack, they're now down to 700 life points. But that's not all. With Drumatis, our opponent will now get burned whenever they summon a monster. Hey, a win's a win. But there's one more thing that you haven't seen yet. Alright, so here's the last one. And if you like battle tricks, this one's for you. For this duel, we get to go first and we're gonna do a bit of burn damage to start things off. Here we go. I'm fast forwarding here a bit because there's a bit of comboing when it comes to Trickstars. We're mainly using Trickstar Holly Angel to burn our opponent whenever we summon a Trickstar monster, and it can be a lot of damage. Alright, so this is where we ended on. Our opponent is down to 5,200 life points, and we have a bunch of ways to burn our opponent with Drumatis and our trap. But they aren't the only threats that we have for our opponent. Just like last game, we have our good old Colchica bomb in our grave. But unlike last time, we also have a battle hand trap. And because of how uncommon battle hand traps are, you'll also be surprised how often people fall for them. And yes, people still fall for it even if they saw a search for it last turn. So, while they do the Blue Eyes combo, what's so special about Trickstar Corobane in our hand? Because it's a battle hand trap that gives our Trickstar monster an attack boost, it triggers during the damage step, and that gives our opponent fewer ways to respond to it. But that's not all. Corobane's attack boost isn't any small attack boost. It increases our Trickstar's attack by its original attack, practically doubling it. So not only will our opponent take a bit of damage from crashing into our Trickstar monster, it will also set off the bomb in our graveyard, and that's how we play dirty with Trickstar. Now let's see the build. Alright, so that was Trickstar in the Duelist Cup. And for context, I started the event pretty late with only 2 days left, but I was able to get to Duelist level 19, which is honestly not bad considering the other meta decks out there. So what do I think about Trickstars? I'll just throw it out there. They're super fun to play, but they aren't crazy strong. What's rough about Trickstar is that they're a xenophobic archetype, since Festival locks you into Trickstars. Although they did get support somewhat recently that boosts their consistency, they still have trouble going second against some semi-established boards. All in all, Trickstar is a cool burn type deck that can have some level of back and forth, plus it's super satisfying to pull off those sneaky wins. So if you have the UR points to spare, yes, they are expensive, I'd still recommend playing Trickstar for fun. But if you're looking for a more powerful deck to play, maybe you'll want to check out my other video where I showcase Mitsurugi Dogmatica. It's super awesome. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. Bye bye!